Greetings, my friends. Welcome to the fire. Why don't you take a seat here, and I'll tell you about a battle between a bard and a cleric in the first layer of the 9 hells. Look how they massacred my boy. My first PvP experience, r/D&D stories, posted by Dr_Stalemate. Just a quick touch of backstory here. We're currently playing Descent into Avernus, trying not to spoil much, and my College of Valor bard got his hands on a certain shield and made a deal with a certain fiend to allow him to dip into Warlock for a few levels. The relevant players here are my bard, Honest Al, the Tempest Cleric of Tiamat/Monk, we'll call him Rocky, as they are a Earth Jananzi, and the Battlesmith Tiefling, Shooty. If you guys are reading this, hi! Avernus had been taking its mental toll on our characters, and we had just finished a small encounter that ended with Rocky being told by an agent of Tiamat that they weren't worthy of their goddess's approval. Rocky was upset by this. Al had so far interpreted Rocky as being much kinder than their evil goddess and began trying to sway them away from her. Long story short, I may have told a cleric their goddess sucked and they could do better, and then defiled a monument to said goddess. Out of character, Rocky's player told me if I kept it up, his character would attack me. We discussed and agreed that it could be fun and decided to stop at KO. The fight was very fun. Honest Al was a bit of a tank, 20 AC thanks to a +2 shield, and was able to absorb most of what Rocky dealt out. A few times during the fight, Al gave Rocky the chance to stop, saying he didn't want to hurt them more. Rocky refused. Out of character, again, I asked Rocky if they were fine fighting to the death. If they weren't, I didn't want to push things, but I was having fun RPing this fight between two overstressed characters. At this point, Shooty intervenes a little and gives a small buff to Rocky. Not much, but it's a touch spell. Rocky triggered my held action of an AoE spell, I think Shatter, and I hit them both for some small damage. Enter Shooty into combat now. Shooty has a firearm, but is a glass cannon. A few lucky shield spells keeps Al safe from bullets, and he is wearing them down with his infernal whip he got from his Patreon. After Shooty landed a good hit on Al, he had enough. Wall fire around Shooty and Rocky. Shooty leaves the wall. Rocky goes down on their turn. Shooty heals Rocky. At this point, Al is unhinged. Rocky isn't fighting, but Al doesn't stop. Again, communicating with the other players. We all were having a blast. Fireball into the middle of the group. Rocky goes down again. Al is yelling at the unconscious cleric about how their goddess failed them, how they deserve better. Still gonna try and kill them though. The last party member who had been watching until this point steps in with a well-placed heal on Rocky. Rocky doesn't get up. Bad rolls from Al means both Rocky and Shooty get to stay up. They both had less than 10 HP. Al had 8. Shooty's turn. Their steel defender has grappled Al a turn earlier. Shooty does what they do best and shoot Al right in the chest. Al slumped over and was subsequently tossed off the war machine they were fighting on top of, and they drove away. So, I died. I lost my first PvP, and I loved every second of it. They made sure I was fine with my character dying. I was. It was an absolute blast. My current character is a barbarian that was introduced arm wrestling a fire giant and winning, and was almost immediately dragged behind a war machine on purpose. It was my idea, and it was awesome. Okay, that was long and rambling, but I wanted to share it because I loved every second of it. TLDR, my bard pissed off the cleric and ended up dying. Fun times were had by all. When it comes to PvP, it could be a pretty tricky thing, but it sounds like it was done right in this story. Open lines of communication and everyone was on the same page. Good job. And that's our story. Be sure to hit that like and subscribe button for more future content. Also, if you would kindly follow the socials posted in the description, that would be amazing. As always, be good, be great, be awesome.